The bell above the door chimed as Naomi Brooks stepped into Luxloom Salon, a stylish beauty space with glossy white floors, gold accents, and neat rows of hair products displayed like trophies. The air smelled of lavender shampoo and heated flat irons. Soft pop music hummed overhead. Naomi wore jeans, a soft beige blazer, and her natural curls tucked into a loose bun. She carried herself with quiet confidence, the kind that didn't require attention but subtly commanded respect. She had booked her appointment 2 weeks in advance, excited to finally try a salon said to be the most luxurious in the city. A receptionist with a polished smile greeted her. "Hi, welcome to Luxloom. Name?" "Naomi Brooks. I have a 3 hours appointment." The receptionist nodded and checked the computer. "Yes, with Sienna. She'll be right with you." Naomi sat down, crossing her legs, glancing around. The atmosphere was sleek, modern, the kind of salon that posted before and after shots daily, always with perfect lighting and coordinated outfits. But Naomi couldn't help noticing something. Every client in sight had straight, sleek hair. Not one curl, not one coil, not one texture like hers. Still, she remained hopeful. Everyone deserves to feel pampered sometimes. After a few minutes, a stylist with platinum blonde hair and long acrylics approached. She looked Naomi up and down, then offered a quick, tight smile. "Naomi, I'm Sienna. Come with me." They walked to the chair. Naomi slipped off her blazer. "So I was thinking a hydration treatment, trim, and maybe a soft stretch blowout," Naomi said. "I wear my hair," Sienna interrupted, pulling a comb from her apron, as though preparing for a battle she didn't want to fight. "Yeah, so," she said, voice sharp with forced politeness. "We, don't really do that type of hair texture here." The air stopped. Naomi tilted her head slightly, not offended yet, just surprised. "You mean natural curls?" Sienna gave a dramatic exhale. "Yes, it's really time-consuming. And honestly, we're not trained for hair like yours. You'll want a more specialty salon." The word yours sat heavy in the space. Another stylist nearby glanced over and looked away, quiet. Naomi remained calm. "I booked the appointment, explained my hair on the phone, and was told it wouldn't be a problem." Sienna shrugged, already annoyed. "Well, whoever said that didn't realize what you meant. We just don't have time today, or really, ever. It's not our market." Her voice grew louder, not rude by accident, but by intention. So others would hear and agree. A couple of clients shifted in their seats. Naomi's voice stayed controlled. "So you're refusing service?" Sienna crossed her arms. "Yes, and honestly, it's better for both of us. Your hair is just a lot." There it was. Not professional, not mistaken. Disrespect. Naomi stood, smoothing her blazer with graceful precision. "Thank you for your time," she said. Not brittle, not emotional, just steady. She turned and walked toward the door. As she left, the stylists whispered, confident they'd never see her again. What they didn't know was that Naomi wasn't just any customer. She was the co-founder of Novia Beauty, one of the fastest-growing multicultural hair care companies in the country. She had just finalized a merger deal that would make her the majority partner of a corporation that had recently acquired Luxloom Salons, and in just 2 weeks, she would be returning. Not for an appointment, but for the official partnership announcement, and they would learn exactly who they had dismissed. The lesson was coming. 2 weeks later, Luxloom Salon buzzed with its usual weekend energy. Blow dryers roared, flat irons hissed, and conversations rose and fell like waves. But beneath the familiar rhythm was a subtle tension. An email had gone out that morning. Mandatory staff meeting. 12 p.m. Attendance required. No reason given. No explanation. Stylists whispered between clients, "Is someone getting fired? Are we changing products again? Maybe corporate is downsizing?" Sienna moved confidently through the salon, flipping her hair, calling instructions to her assistant. She still carried herself as though she ran the place, even though she didn't. She hadn't thought about Naomi once since that day. To her, Naomi was just another difficult appointment she had avoided. She didn't know she had made the biggest mistake of her career. At noon sharp, the receptionist locked the salon door. The staff gathered near the front styling stations, confused but curious. The salon manager, Tara, looked unusually nervous. Thank you all for coming, Tara began. We've been bought out by a new parent company, Novia Beauty. They'll be restructuring stores across the region. The new leadership partner is arriving to introduce the transition. The door opened, and Naomi walked in. Not in jeans and a blazer this time. This time she wore a tailored cream suit, gold jewelry catching the light. Her natural curls styled in a stunning twist-out. Defined, healthy, radiant. She didn't look like someone seeking approval. She looked like someone who owned the room. Conversation stopped instantly. A few stylists gasped. The realization hit like a spark in dry air. Sienna's face drained of color. Naomi stepped forward, posture easy, expression calm, but undeniably authoritative. "Good afternoon, everyone," she said. "My name is Naomi Brooks. I'm the new majority partner for Luxloom under the Novia Beauty Group." Silence. Everyone listened. "I believe salons should be places where people feel seen, valued, and respected. Not judged, not made to feel like they don't belong." Sienna's breath caught. Naomi's gaze found hers, not sharp, not vengeful, just truthful. "2 weeks ago, I came here as a client," Naomi said, voice steady as marble. "I was told my hair was too difficult, not worth the time, and—" she paused, letting the room breathe the discomfort. "That this salon doesn't serve people like me." Someone in the back whispered, "Oh no." Naomi continued, "This salon will no longer operate that way. Starting today, we will be retraining every stylist to work with every hair texture, from straight to coily. If you are not willing to learn, there are other salons that may be a better fit for you." She didn't look at Sienna specifically. She didn't need to. Her professionalism itself was the correction. The weight of her words settled into every corner of the room, and for the first time, Sienna understood that the woman she dismissed wasn't someone to underestimate. She was the one signing her checks now. Naomi finished simply, "Beauty is for everyone. And if we're not living that, then what are we even doing here?" No anger, no bitterness, just leadership with spine and grace. The staff stood silent, some humbled, some inspired, some scared. But everyone was changed, and this was only the beginning. Say 3, and I'll write the scene where Naomi leads the first texture training session, and Sienna finally realizes the difference between being skilled and being respectful. The next week, Luxloom Salon didn't look the same. The mirrors were spotless. The chairs had been rearranged to create an open training area. New tools, products, and sample wigs of every curl pattern, from loose 2A waves to tight 4C coils, were displayed along a long counter. The air held a quiet anticipation, the kind that meant something real was about to happen. Naomi stood at the front of the room, wearing a black smock embroidered with the Novia Beauty logo. She didn't look like a CEO overseeing from a distance. She looked like someone who worked with her hands, who knew exactly what she was teaching. The stylists took their seats, some curious, some anxious. Sienna sat in the front row, not by choice, Tara had insisted, but now she stayed there willingly. She looked different today. No smugness, no attitude, just silence and something close to humility. Naomi began with simple, grounded instruction. Not a lecture, not judgment, just truth. "Hair texture is not difficulty," she said, running her fingers through the coils of a wig. "It is simply different techniques. When we label textured hair as too much or too time-consuming, we're not talking about hair. We're talking about bias." A couple of stylists shifted in their seats, understanding dawning. Naomi continued, "When you refuse someone's service based on texture, you're telling them they don't belong here. And that isn't just bad business, it's harm." No one argued. It was quiet. The kind of quiet where people listen because they recognize they need to. Naomi demonstrated hydration techniques, detangling methods, heat protection application. Her hands moved skillfully, gently, with respect, never tugging, never rushing. The stylists watched differently now. Not like they were being corrected, but like they were being expanded. Then, Naomi gestured to the practice mannequins. "Now, you try." There was hesitation, then movement. Stylists approached the mannequin heads, combs and brushes in hand. Some struggled, some grew frustrated. Some whispered apologies under their breath, not to Naomi, but to every client they had ever dismissed. And then came Sienna. She stepped to a mannequin with tight 4C coils, hair like Naomi's. Her hands hovered. She wasn't afraid of the hair. She was afraid of acknowledging what she had done. Naomi stepped beside her, not close, not imposing, just there. Sienna took a slow breath, picked up the comb, and began. She didn't rush. She didn't yank. She didn't sigh with annoyance. She learned. And Naomi taught, not with superiority, but with patience. Gentle at the root. Let the comb lead the hair, not force it. Sienna swallowed, her voice small but sincere. I really didn't know. I thought, if something was hard, it wasn't worth the effort. I'm sorry. Naomi nodded. Not in forgiveness yet, but in acknowledgement. Learning is the apology, she replied. Keep going. And Sienna did. By the end of the session, the salon felt different. Not because the walls changed, but because the people did. Stylists who once avoided textured hair were now asking questions, laughing at their mistakes, celebrating small victories. The salon was no longer a place for one kind of beauty. It was becoming a place where beauty was expanded, not narrowed. As the training wrapped up, Sienna approached Naomi, not timid, not defensive, but honest for the first time. I want to be better, she said, not because I have to, but because I didn't realize how small I was thinking. Naomi met her eyes, and this time she smiled, not triumphant, encouraging. That's how we grow, she said. And in that moment, the salon that once turned Naomi away was beginning to transform into something she could be proud to lead. The day of the public reopening arrived with a new energy in the air. The glass windows of Luxloom Salon gleamed in the morning sun, and a fresh sign hung proudly at the entrance. All textures, all beauty, all welcome. Inside, everything looked brighter, not because of new decor, but because of the shift in the people. A row of stylists stood ready at their stations, aprons on, tools laid out neatly, faces focused but hopeful. It felt like the salon had been holding its breath for years and could finally exhale. Naomi stood near the front desk, calm and steady, her curls styled in a soft halo today. She didn't hover. She didn't boast. She was there the way a foundation is there, quietly supporting everything above it. The door opened. A black mother and her young daughter stepped inside, the little girl's hair in a tight, beautiful cloud of coils. The mother hesitated in the entryway, her shoulders tight, her eyes wary. She held her purse close, as if preparing to apologize for existing. She had been turned away before, more than once, from places just like this. Naomi stepped forward, not rushing, not overwhelming. Welcome, she said warmly. We're glad you're here. The mother's shoulders loosened just a little. Her daughter's eyes flicked curiously toward the rows of mirrors and chairs. Sienna approached next, not because she was assigned, because she wanted to. She crouched to the little girl's height. Hi, she said gently. What's your name? The girl peeked shyly from behind her mother. Ari. Well, Ari, Sienna smiled. Your hair is beautiful, and I'd be honored if you'd let me help style it today. Only if you want to, though. Ari looked at her mother, who nodded with a soft, relieved smile. A real smile, the kind that comes when a door that used to be slammed shut opens, just like that. As Sienna guided Ari to the styling chair, she didn't reach for tools immediately. She spoke to her. She asked about school and favorite colors and superheroes. She made space. She made room. Naomi watched, not to supervise, but to appreciate. Another door opened. A woman with locks walked in. Then, a man with waves under a durag. Then, two friends with twist-outs, laughing nervously as they checked in. Word had spread. This was safe now. The salon buzzed, not with gossip, not with judgment, but with community. Stylists moved with more care, clients relaxed, conversations sounded lighter, more sincere. Halfway through the day, Ari turned toward the mirror. Her hair had been moisturized, shaped, and styled into a crown of soft, defined puffs, small gold cuffs catching the light. Her face lit up, eyes wide, mouth open in a joyful gasp. Mommy, I look so pretty. Her mother cupped her hand over her mouth to keep from crying, shoulders shaking with gratitude instead of exhaustion. Naomi stepped closer, speaking softly so only the mother could hear. You should never have to fight to feel welcome. The woman nodded, wiping her eyes. You're changing something, she whispered. Naomi didn't say, I know. She didn't need to. Because the proof was standing right there. A child who felt beautiful. A stylist learning with humility. A salon becoming what it should have always been. By closing time, the staff was tired, but in the good way. The kind of tired that means work mattered. As they swept floors and folded towels, laughter lingered in the air. This wasn't a salon anymore. It was a place of belonging. Fall arrived in the city with crisp air and trees turning shades of honey, amber, and deep wine red. The salon's transformation had not only changed the atmosphere inside Luxloom, it had begun to ripple outward. Clients shared their experiences. Local influencers stopped in. Community groups praised the inclusive service models. And soon, an invitation arrived from the City Board of Cultural Arts and Business Excellence. Luxloom Salon is nominated for the Community Beauty and Inclusion Award, recognizing outstanding commitment to representing and uplifting all forms of beauty. The ceremony took place in a grand venue. High ceilings, soft stage lights, floor-to-ceiling windows reflecting the city skyline. Music played low and warm. Business owners, artists, stylists, and community leaders mingled in elegant outfits and quiet conversation. Naomi arrived wearing a fitted emerald gown that shimmered like satin under the lights. Her curls cascaded over one shoulder, healthy and glowing, living proof of her philosophy. She was poised, confident, grounded. Luxloom's staff stood with her, not behind her, beside her. Sienna wore her hair in natural curls too, styled in a soft, defined braid-out she had learned to do through training and practice. She stood tall, posture open, presence changed. Not perfect, just growing. When their category was announced, the room fell still. The presenter smiled. This year's Community Beauty and Inclusion Award goes to Luxloom Salon for championing beauty that welcomes every texture, every shade, every story. Applause erupted, warm, real, not polite, proud. Naomi exhaled slowly and stepped onto the stage. The microphone waited. Cameras flashed. She didn't rush to speak. When she did, her voice was gentle but strong. Beauty should never be a gate someone has to fight through. It should be something we step into, freely, joyfully, without apology. She glanced toward her team, each stylist watching her with respect they had earned through effort, not hierarchy. When we embrace all textures, all tones, all identities, we are not expanding beauty. Beauty was already vast. We are simply choosing to see what has always been there. A brief pause, the kind that makes the room lean closer. This award isn't about one salon, she continued. It's about a shift, a remembering, a return to the truth. Everyone deserves to feel like they belong. Her words landed softly, like a promise fulfilled. When she stepped back from the microphone, applause rose again. Loud, full, something like celebration mixed with relief. As the staff returned to their seats, Sienna caught up to Naomi. No hesitation, just sincerity. You changed everything, Sienna said quietly. Naomi shook her head. No, she replied. You chose to change. That's what matters. Sienna's eyes softened. For the first time, she believed that was true. The night ended under warm lights and laughter, with group photos, hugs, and the comfortable buzz of shared pride. Luxloom didn't just win an award, it became a symbol, a place where every person who walked in knew, you belong here, exactly as you are. And Naomi? She didn't just become a CEO, she became a force, one that turned exclusion into empowerment, and rebuilt beauty into something whole again. Not by demanding space, but by opening space for everyone.